What's up, y'all? Welcome into the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. We're courtside at FedEx Forum. He's John Roser. I'm Lang Whitaker. And we're here to get you ready for Memphis Grizzlies tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. The Grizzlies coming in at 38-22. The Hawks coming in at 27-33. We've been here a lot lately.
We have been here a lot lately.
It's been a lot of games.
You know, when I was a boy in Illinois, shooting socks into a bin. I'm sorry. I may just quote Meyers Leonard's country song.
It's coming up later.
I know, his retirement song. I've listened to it more times than I care to admit. It really is.
We got Meyers Leonard coming up. We got Jessica Benson coming up. We got Dominique Wilkins. The Hall of Famer is coming up in just a little bit. But we're really here to get you ready for Hawks Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies have had a tough stretch lately. 4 of 6 in their last 10. Coming off the loss the other night to San Antonio, 130-128, a game where San Antonio jumped out to that huge first half lead. Grizzlies fought back in the third quarter, made it a game. The Grizzlies have had 5 straight games that were one-possession games in the last minute. And they've lost a couple of these lately. But the game against San Antonio, I felt like that one kind of had some added pain to it in a way because we're missing a bunch of guys. A San Antonio team you've already beaten 3 times, and you come out and kind of just are flat.
Yeah, it felt like you were trying to maybe experiment a little bit. You played a ton of guys in that game, particularly that second quarter when the Spurs went off for almost 50 points in the quarter. So I think all that combined with a Saturday night, a lot of fans in the building, and then you look up at John Morant, Desmond Bane on Bane Buddy Wrestling Buddy night. Desmond Bane doesn't end up playing, so I think you had a lot of frustrations.
There's a bunch of guys
fans. And then you came all the way back, and you had a chance and very well could have won the game, and then when you don't, so
couldn't make a 3. That's 2 games in a row the Grizzlies have struggled to shoot the 3 ball. We'll see if we get that back going tonight.
No, the Grizzlies have struggled to shoot the 3 in the 6 games since the All-Star break. 69 of 228, 30.2%.
Not good
from 3. The only game where they really have shot it well was the Phoenix game here.
And that was the game that they had to go to overtime to win, and gave up 148 points to the Phoenix Suns. Coming into this, Santi, after the game the other night, had some strong words. He said the Grizzlies aren't respecting the game. His full quote was, "You want to play your best basketball when the time comes. We're not respecting the game. Where if you want that to happen, you have to do it every day." I don't really understand fully what he was getting at, other than it feels like he was kind of saying, hey, like, we're not giving our all every game.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think that's what he means by respecting the game. Something Greg Popovich used to always talk about with the Spurs, respect the game. If you respect the game, take your opponent serious, the game will respect you back, and you will have a lot of success. And I think he really did mean that about San Antonio, is they still should have won that game. It is known the Spurs are not exactly trying to win a lot of games right now, with Wemby out for the rest of the year. And the Spurs did a lot of boneheaded things in that fourth quarter that made you believe, all right, well, they're like, the game's there for the taking. And I think you say that the Grizzlies we didn't take that game serious going into it. We were maybe still thinking about the night before against New York, and it bit us in the butt.
I figured at some point those 3s are going to start falling, right? Like, like we've seen them go all year, and then you start that game and nothing's going down. I was like, all right, at some point you're going to make 3 in a row or something, and it's going to turn, and that'll be enough. And it just wasn't. It just never was enough. And so the Grizzlies, they got to figure out a way to turn things around quickly.
The good thing is you're playing a team who also traded a bunch of guys, traded some guys, and so and they've got injuries also with Jalen Johnson. DeAndre Hunter got traded to Cleveland, so they've had some injury problems. And are they exactly? Even though their pick goes to San Antonio, what are you going to see from the Atlanta Hawks tonight? This has to be a get-right game, even though I know we're expecting some guys to be out. It still should be one that, if you respect the game, you'll see a dub.
Hawks have lost 5 of their last 6, 8 in a row to end the month of January. They had Jalen Johnson go out, and then, like you said, traded DeAndre Hunter. The bottom kind of fell out for them a little bit. They've lost 4 of their last, lost 6 of their last 10 games also. The Grizzlies are 1-0 against Atlanta this season. But there's a good matchup between 2 of the premier defensive players in the league right now. Wembanyama was kind of in the lead for Defensive Player of the Year. With him not being able to hit the threshold of games played, the next two guys are Jaren Jackson Jr. and Dyson Daniels from the Hawks. Jaren scored a season-high 42 Saturday in that game against San Antonio. Second in steals this season in the NBA, plus blocks, stocks, averaging about 3 a game, only behind Dyson Daniels in the 50 games played. He's fun to watch. Daniels.
No, Dyson Daniels has been, a massive revelation this season for the Atlanta Hawks. Came over in that trade involving DeJounte Murray. Him and Jalen Johnson taking massive steps this year before Johnson ended up being injured for the season for Atlanta. But Daniels has been, without a doubt, the best perimeter defender in the league this year. The guy's an absolute menace. Steals, blocks, stocks, all of it, guarding the best perimeter players. He can do it all on the defensive end. It's tough for a perimeter player to win, Depoy. Marcus Smart did it a couple of years ago. Kawhi Leonard did it in back-to-back years. And then after that, it's like Gary Payton, I think, like in the 90s. Like it's tough for the perimeter guys, the wings, to win.
I was actually talking to Jaren about this a couple days ago, and I said what kind of helped him make that jump from being a very good defensive player to being the Defensive Player of the Year. And he said, I stopped trying to block every shot. And I just learned you can affect the game a lot more. If you don't block everything, just get in the way. Just make a menace of yourself. And I think that's kind of where he said, and he also just stopped trying to block things out of bounds. He said, keep it in bounds, start the fast break, get going that way. So
just put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
He's been awesome this year, and hopefully Jaren
somebody
can keep it
say,
going.
If you want to see Jaren win DPOY, somebody say, oh, yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Although, in my heart, I do want to do it. I mentioned earlier, the Grizzlies' last 5 contests have all been one-possession games in the last 60 seconds of playing time, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So it's 5 straight games that have been close down the stretch. Haven't won all those games. Grizzlies are 6-5 this season on one-possession games at the end of the game. We know to call 12.
Right,
we know it works.
Right.
Is that enough?
No, it's not. It is enough against teams like the Phoenix Suns. It is not going to be enough in the playoffs when you play the best teams in the league. There's going to need to be other things you run, or you got to be creative with how you get him those opportunities. It doesn't mean Ja can't hit game winners in those situations, because he absolutely can, but you've got to be creative with how you do it. There are a lot of times in the Phoenix game, he just started going one-on-one. Well, the better teams in the league aren't just going to let you do that.
Yeah, they'll double.
And I think even the Knicks allowed him to do that at the end of that game twice. I would think in the playoffs, teams are not going to do that. They're going to force you to get the ball out of your hands, or they're going to force you to shoot it from the outside.
We've also seen teams just show a lot of defenders. Like, everyone backs off their guy a little bit and just shows them a lot of traffic, which makes it harder for him to get to the basket, too. We'll see if the Grizzlies can find some other solutions at the end of these close games. Tonight, Ja Morant and Santi Aldama were both listed as questionable. Taylor Jenkins pregame said they are both trending toward being out. Ja has the shoulder soreness. It's been battling it all season long. But Santi has a calf soreness. I don't know exactly what that is or what's going on. Taylor didn't really elaborate on that, but he said he's just questionable for that. So Yuki, Zion are out. The Hawks, like we said, Trae Young's probable, but Jalen Johnson's out. George Niang is out. Larry Nance Jr. also out. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back here with Jessica Benson, talk about tonight's main character. The Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins is going to join us. John Roser is going to join us to finish this thing out. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Dunks in like the first half or something. One of my guys was like, "Yeah, I think Coach Calipari was speaking with one of the NBA scouts, and they're saying, yeah, you're not gonna go to college, bro. You're going straight to the league." I was like, "That's the plan, but if I don't, I definitely want to go to Memphis," and that's how I went down.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Shinedown, Dance Kid Dance Tour, live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We did get a new shoe that dropped today that we should all be able to get if we want it.
Fire.
And it's been one people have been waiting for a long, long time.
Yep.
Asia Wilson. What do you guys think about the shoe?
I love it.
It looks great. We see people wearing Jaws. We see a lot of people wearing the GT line. But then also we see a lot of NBA players wearing the Sabrinas.
Sabrina, yeah.
I bet you there's going to be a lot of NBA players wearing the
I agree with you on that.
Oh, yeah.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app. Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker, Jessica Benson, courtside at FedEx Forum, where the Grizzlies are getting ready to take on the Atlanta Hawks tonight. I got an update that we're going to be without Ja Morant and no Santi Aldama. They're both out tonight. Yeah. So, it's okay. No Ja, no Santi.
I'm sure you addressed it in the opening segment,
yes,
but the good news is not expected to be a long-term situation.
Yeah.
It is a short-term, and there is a massive game on Wednesday. Sure, it's always the preferable alternative to see Ja in every game.
Sure.
And it stinks that we won't get one Ja versus Trey matchup this season, since Trey missed the first one.
Yeah.
Ja missed the first one, too.
Yeah. So, and the Hawks won that game in Atlanta, so Hawks. Real quick, give me your main character for tonight.
Defense. It's
That's
simple.
all it is?
It's so simple.
All
Defense. Right. Cannot give up a 46-point quarter. Yeah. Cannot leave wide open threes. If there's a team that can take advantage of being left wide open from three, the Hawks are one of those teams. Yeah. And even though they have struggled defensively, you have a Hawks team that is towards the bottom of the Eastern Conference play-in standings. Yeah. There's still potentially going to be a postseason appearer. However, it's not like they're in the top of the East. But you can't overlook this team, which I don't think will be a problem coming out of the game against the Spurs on Saturday. I would anticipate high energy, high tone setting early on. But all that's going to come back to the defense, and it has to be better than it's been the last couple of games.
Yeah. All right. We need defense. I don't know if you noticed, there's somebody standing over here.
I do. He's going to kick me out, and that's totally fine.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in just a second. You're watching the warm-up show. Or maybe we won't take a break.
Bottom line is this. The Grizzlies wouldn't have been in that position had it not been for Jaren Jackson Jr. dominating the first 3 quarters of that game. He got in foul trouble. It's great to have Ja as the closer. I don't think that this needs to be an either-or scenario. One is not as effective without the other. It's simple as that. But Ja Morant has to have his fingerprint on controlling the game from start to finish, and we saw how good of a finisher he is. Call 12, the Grizzlies will be just fine.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. And look, they tell you don't meet your heroes. They say your heroes are going to let you down. They say you don't want to meet your, just let them live in your mind. Well, I'm going to be honest. I got to meet my hero, and he is awesome.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Talking about me?
No, I was talking about Doc Rivers.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about you, of course, a human highlight film.
Good choice.
The NBA Hall of Famer, Dominique Wilkins. Like, I grew up in Atlanta. I had Hawks season tickets when I was in 7th grade, the $5 seats at the top of the Omni. Me and my friends, those. I mean, you guys look like ants down there. But I got to grow up watching you guys play, specifically you, and watching you play. And it's amazing to me now to see you still part of the Hawks. Still, now you're a Hall of Famer. Your son's going to Georgia, where you went to school. It's been incredible to watch.
Well, you know what? It's a fun time for me. You know, still being part of the Hawks all these years, and I'm kind of a lifer. You know.
Yeah.
And so they have really been great to me all these years, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But to watch my youngest son go through the same process and watching his career develop has been something special for me. He is a special young player.
Are you going to let him wear number 21?
Actually, they're taking it already basically. Yeah. They're going to take it out of retirement and let him wear it. No, they're not going to take it down, but they're going to give him the privilege of wearing it.
to let him wear. They're not going to let him wear like the James Banks or one of those other guys who used to play. He can't be Vern Fleming. He's got to be 21. He's got to be Dominique.
You know what, though? It's nice to see your son following your footsteps. And I'm so proud of him of what he have accomplished. And so to see his growth and see his excitement about going to University of Georgia, that's carrying on that legacy. Because, you get a chance to tell a story, keep that story alive. So it's going to be fun.
I spoke to you a little bit earlier when you came in. I always joke about the dunk contest and the one in Chicago where you won, but the trophy went to Michael Jordan. We know. We're from Atlanta. We know the truth.
But I would tell you this. No matter who won, the fans got their money's worth. Because you had two great players going head-to-head, and we wanted to know who the best was. And that's what I loved about Michael Jordan and competing against him, not just in the dunk contest, but regular season, man. We had some of the greatest battles in history. We the only two foes in NBA history against each other for our whole career, average over 30.
I remember, all those playoff games in the series and watching you get and all those Hawks teams, you, Doc, Randy, Moses, Kevin Willis, all those guys.
We had a great squad.
It was fun to watch. Dunk contest now. You watched it this year. You thought it was entertaining?
I thought it was entertaining. The theatrics was great, and Clone did his thing as far as the theatrical, stage that he set.
Made it fun to watch.
It's fun to watch, but, at the same time, you see what's coming.
Yeah.
When you're in a dunk contest, you got to use your imagination with your sneakers, basketball, and what's up here. And that's the way we competed against one another. Hey, I'm not taking anything away from the little guy because of what he did. Gave him a chance to win multiple times. So it was entertaining, but I would like to see guys use their imagination more than just props.
And you were like a power dunker, more so like two-footed with the windmills and that kind of stuff. Like you didn't really need the props.
No. And if you look at Vince Carter and guys like that, I'm just using him for an example. You knew something special was coming when he did the dunk contest, and some of his dunks, hasn't been duplicated since then. So that's the kind of dunk contest that I want to see.
You're the Hawks color commentator on FanDuel in Atlanta, and you get to watch the Hawks night after night. I know ever since Jalen Johnson went down with the shoulder surgery, it's kind of put a wrinkle in the season for this Hawks team. How have they responded the last couple of weeks, months since then?
You know what? Other than the last stretch we had, they have put together a marvelous stretch of games that they've come out and beat some really good teams, and they're feeling really confident about themselves. Of course, we miss Jalen Johnson. We miss B. Krejci, and we miss those guys have missed multiple games. But we had different guys to step up and really be effective. So you can never count this Hawks team out, because as long as you got Trae Young at the helm and you got guys like Dyson Daniels who are really playing great defense, and our young guy Reese Desherry, he is starting to come into his own and confidence. So it's a total team effort. It's just not one guy.
Before I let you get out of here, so my son is in 6th grade now. I show him about once a week the Dominique Wilkins top 10 dunk on YouTube. Who is the best one that you ever dunked on somebody?
Oh man, that's a great question. There's been a lot of guys.
I know.
But I think the one that was kind of stood out, it was against Bob Lanier, the late Bob Lanier.
I was hoping
a wonderful person. Because it was at the end of the game when I went towards the middle. I was on the post and spent back baseline, and I jumped. And I remember Bob kind of covered the rim with two hands, and I kept going up. He was coming down. I turned in the air, and I dunked that one almost on the buzzer.
You were kind of sideways, right?
And the reason why that was special, because Bob didn't speak to me for 9 years until after we retired. He said, I hated you because I had to go home, and my daughter said, how you let that little skinny guy dunk on you like that? And so that was special, but it was a lot of special moments that I had.
I'll also nominate the one that you get Larry Bird on the break.
That was pretty good.
And Bird covers his head, and you tomahawk
that
on
was
him.
Pretty good one.
So.
You know what? It's been so many. You know, I've always been a guy who liked to finish hard at the rim because I felt like if I set the tone early and throw it down as hard as I could, it would deter guys from trying to block my shot.
It did. I appreciate you coming over here and spending a little time with us.
No problem.
And I mean what I said earlier. Like they say, don't meet your heroes. Dominique is amazing.
Thank you, man.
And it means a lot to me.
Well, we go back a long way, my friend.
I know we do. I appreciate it so much.
No
and,
problem.
Stay tuned. We'll be back here in a second. You're watching the warm-up show on Grind City Media.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Where will Aaron Rodgers play?
Gosh.
God, I can't believe we're doing this again.
You know who it's going to be.
Oh.
Tennessee Titans. Tighten up.
Oh, no.
You know they're going to do it. You know they're going to do it.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
45-minute video on Tony Allen on YouTube.
I just saw it yesterday.
He managed to dominate the NBA for 14 years, despite missing one of basketball's most important skills. But here's the crazy thing.
Why does that hurt your feelings?
It didn't hurt my feelings.
It's positive.
He at least should have more of my highlights.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If you go to a hustle game, you're going to see a very fast-paced game. A lot of action, both offensively, defensively.
Nice rejection right there.
In a great environment at the Landers Center. You could bring family there, kids are running around.
Down the lane and one for Zion Poland.
And then you're going to see a lot of talented basketball players competing at a high level.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. John Roser, Lang Whitaker, courtside here at FedEx Forum, getting you ready for the Atlanta Hawks and the Memphis Grizzlies, tipping off in about 37 minutes from now. I'm sweating a little bit.
Yeah, that was
because we had
that was pretty cool.
We had the Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins, and he really is my hero. As a kid, I watched him every game and dreamed of being able to meet him one day.
Him and Deion Sanders, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Deion, him, Greg Maddox, Chipper, like some of the Braves. But Neek was like the guy because he tomahawked on people too. Like that was cool, like watching him play. So anyway, shout out Dominique Wilkins, and he said anytime. So I'm holding him to it from now on. Every year, Dominique's coming on the warm-up show. All right, so we were going to go around the NBA.
It'll be on Wednesday night before the Thunder game.
I'll just call him.
We're just going to call Dominique.
Hey, Nick, go around the NBA like we always do at this time. There's been reports from this weekend that, according to Shams Charania, the Suns are expected to work a trade for Kevin Durant in the offseason. Unless, I saw it said, barring a deep playoff run. I think we can go ahead and bar that. Do you think Kevin Durant will be traded in the offseason?
Yes, I do. And he knows that. He was on Draymond Green's podcast. He pretty much said as much, and he turned down trades at the deadline. It was reported that the Grizzlies may have made an offer, but it was definitely reported the Golden State Warriors had a deal worked for Kevin Durant, where Durant was going to go there. Jimmy Butler would have ended up in Phoenix, and KD nixed the trade because his point was, he's like, I'm a lot, and I eat a lot of salary. So when I go to a team, you're also giving up a lot, and it changes a lot of things. I like being in Phoenix. Let's Let's finish the season and then figure it out from there. So, yeah, Kevin Durant's going to be somewhere next year. We got our first take this morning. What team should go all in for Kevin Durant? I feel like this is a topic at least 5 times a year on First Take, and we're at that point now.
I thought Kevin kind of humanized it too, though, where he talked about like at the trade deadline, he was like, I just didn't want to move. I don't want to. Like,
it's a lot.
It's upheaval, and your whole life changes. And he was like, he goes, we'll get to the off season, and we'll see what it is. But at the trade deadline, I didn't want to have to deal with changing my life around right then.
I'll take him.
I would too. Ja Morant got fined yesterday. Did you see this? He got a $25,000 fine.
Did.
For the officials said it was for throwing a ball into the crowd. Now, into the spectator stands as opposed to the other stands. But the play that question here was...
Just say the crowd.
He got a technical foul at the end of the third quarter because he turned and took a full court shot and didn't hit the backboard. And they called it a technical foul and said, oh, well, that wasn't a shot. I guess you were throwing the ball into the stands. And if you watch the replay, the whole Grizzlies team is like, what? Now they got fined on top of it. There was a technical foul. The Grizzlies lost the game by 1 point. The whole thing is a little bit odd to me.
Yeah, because, you want players to try to attempt these shots at the end of the quarter. So I know so far as the G League this year, if you attempt that shot and you miss it, it doesn't count against your field goal percentage or as a missed shot because players have bonuses tied to their field goal percentages and three-point percentages. So you want guys attempting those, but, if you're going to fine them for it, then...
Also, can we just put together a clip of, all the players who've, thrown full-court shots into the stands and they all get fined?
You know what? If they gave me, I wouldn't do it right now because I'd probably get fined because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't hit the goal.
We were watching Jaren out here pregame taking half-court shots. He missed 3, he made the 4th one. But Jaren attempting a half-court shot is like me shooting a layup. I mean, it was just flick of the wrist type thing. So these guys throwing full-court shots, not that hard. Yeah. Not that hard to do. Not like it would be for you.
No, it's pretty easy for these guys.
Or for me. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about here, and I've been warned we can only play a minute of this.
Okay.
For copyright purposes.
Oh, okay.
Meyers Leonard, who played in the NBA for a long time, mostly on Portland.
I love
Miami,
this song.
Has announced his retirement, and he did it by writing a country song.
I thought he had retired already. I did too. I didn't know we had an announcement.
He wrote and performed a country song, and we can play a little bit of it here. Jalen, can you play some of it for us?
The Portland Trailblazers select Meyers Leonard from the University of Illinois.
I was a little boy in Illinois shooting socks into a bin, dreaming of the NBA while the clock counts down from 10. City park lights on summer nights, just a hoop and me. Always loved that 2010.
So first of all, I would not have pegged him to be a baritone/bass voice like that.
He has an awesome country voice.
I'm not the person to judge. When I first heard that, I was like, Meyers Leonard can really sing. Yeah. I was like, that's crazy. I had no idea. I think John Conchar needs to add that to his pregame playlist because he's the one who plays country in the building. Conchar has some Luke Combs and some other stuff in his pregame, yeah.
I mean, listen to these lyrics.
Okay.
Some moments are only meant to last a while. Some make you laugh, some make you cry. But there ain't no doubt in my mind, there's good and goodbye.
There's good and goodbye.
There's good and goodbye.
That's the name of the song. Hey, shout out Meyers Leonard. I've never seen an NBA player retire by releasing a country song. So, hey, did it his way.
Yeah, good for him, man. Shout out to Meyers Leonard.
On the video, there's a scene.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Whatever. There's a shot of him and his family, and he's wearing a Waylon Jennings t-shirt at one point. So he must have been a country fan, whatever. So, all right, we got about a minute and a half before we get out of here. Dominique said this Hawks team's missing some of their key guys, but total team effort, and when you got Trae Young, you always got a chance.
You know, that is true. Trae Young, little celebration. His celly, as the kids say. Yeah. No, you do. You always have a chance when you have Trae Young. That guy, his range is anywhere, anytime he steps
Speaking of half-court shots,
yeah, like that's his range. So, and you can imagine if he's going to see pick and roll opportunities, he's going to take advantage. I would imagine they will try to go after Zach Edey a little bit if he gets those pick and roll chances and get isolated and then do what Trae Young wants to do. Look, for the Grizzlies, there needs to be, we need the focus that they had in the second half or the fourth quarter, late third quarter, fourth quarter of the Spurs game. We need that for the first half and the whole of this game. And I think if they get it, even without Ja, even without Santi, I think the Grizzlies will be able to get a win.
We'll urgency. I want to see Jalen Wells play Trae Young, too.
He was my sky dog for tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See if Jalen Wells. All right, we're going to get out of here. We're going to let you go over. Right now, if you flip over to FanDuel Sports Network, you can watch the pregame show with Pete, Verno, Brevin, and Fish. If you turn over to ESPN 92.9, you get Jessica, Eric, Elliot, and Bennett. Oh, he gave me the names here. Next home game's 2 nights from now, Wednesday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So we hope we see you either tonight or Wednesday night. Say what's up. Appreciate y'all. You've been watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.